Hi, Stacey. Thanks for doing this. I,
Of course, John. I
you,
love chatting with you about Evernote.
it's it's
I
been
love chatting with you. Let me just clarify that. It's like I like chatting with you. So,
yes,
and we both have an unnatural interest in our favorite tool. So it's always good to
yeah, yeah. We
get
we tr
powder
we,
about
we
it.
tried to do something a couple of years ago, didn't we? And we recorded it and we set it all up, and then I don't know. I can't even remember what happened now. It was something to do with the real time edit or something, and then it never went live because it was put back or something. And then the episode was too old to put on, and so it's nice to finally get round to doing this. Um,
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
you are probably one of the original Evernote certified experts, going back to like when it all started. I mean, you've used Evernote forever, yeah? When did you
Yeah, I
start?
was part of their first, like they've always had some form of a influencer program. They originally called it the ambassador
Mm,
program and it was very limited, but I was part of that. And I mean, I've stuck with it all this time in all its iterations. So
yeah.
yeah, I've seen it evolve. I have been affiliated with Evernote longer than Bending Spoons has been a company.
Wow. Yeah, that says something. Yeah. It's. I mean, 2000 and well,
Thirteen,
the
I think they
product
said.
went live as we know it today, 2008, right? Evernote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
right.
I mean, it
And I think I started in 2000. I mean, I wasn't a 2008er, I was a 2009er.
sure.
So that was
I
me.
was December 2008 because I remember it. And the only reason I remember it is because I bought myself a new BlackBerry and there was an elephant icon on the BlackBerry. And I won,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Yeah, there was. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, pre-installed stuff on your phone. It works. Got me hooked.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about pricing because the price has gone up.
indeed it has. Yes, big changes.
Is your wallet feeling a bit lighter?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I think a few people are saying yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's kind of like instant, really quick reaction to it? What's your like?
Well, um, I actually I'm not surprised. I mean, one of the things that both you and I do because of our interest in Evernote is study Bending Spoons,
Yeah.
right? The leadership of the company. And I understand how they operate much better than I did when they first acquired Evernote. And they are in the business of looking at data and pricing their beloved subscriptions appropriately.
Yeah.
So that is not surprising. In addition, the pricing, despite how it feels to longtime users, is in alignment with what tools of a comparable function are. And everything's increasing. I mean, for me, it's
Yeah.
not just Evernote. It's like every tool I use in
Yeah.
my software suite to
Yeah.
run my business is increasing. So um, it's just it's just part of the game. And because I use Evernote in a certain way, I that is in the top tier. Um, the pricing increase is not substantial for me.
Sure.
Now, for my customers who have been long time collectors in Evernote, and it's really not the pricing feels steep, but the problem's not the pricing change. The problem is the new constraints that are
Yes.
part of the
Yeah.
plans. That's my take.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second because, like, the first price increase, which was a couple of years ago, now, about 2.5 years ago, or something like that. Um, everybody like kicked off and kind of like, oh, it's the end of Evernote, and like, what are they doing? They're pricing themselves out of the market, and nobody's going to be there, and everybody's going to be leaving. And like, what we've kind of found out from watching interviews with the Bending Spoon CEO over the last year or so is that they lost around 10% of their audience when that first price increase came, but then they grew it again, right?
Right.
And
Or they made more
yeah,
revenue on their
yeah,
on their
yeah. So
other
their
side.
their paid audience grew again, right? And user retention was the highest it's ever been.
Right.
So price went up. More people stayed with the product, even though the price was high. We won't know for months, a year probably, once all those
Right.
renewals come up, whether the same thing will happen again. No idea.
Well, it doesn't. it doesn't really surprise me.
Hmm.
It's that's not too surprising. I think nobody wants a price increase, but the function of Evernote when you're a user of what it offers is
Yeah.
very, very sticky
Yeah.
and appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
makes sense. And
yeah.
from a user perspective, I want a profitable company. Like for years back in the day, we were talking about, well, is Evernote, they were like, well, Microsoft's an established company and OneNote is the place you should put your stuff. And it's because like, what if Evernote goes away? Like, how are they going to survive? Right.
Yes.
They're a VC funded firm, that kind of a thing. So we were always having that argument. And the antidote to that is that you have a profitable company,
Yes.
right? That attracts sticky subscription users.
Yeah, and they struggled to do that profit for best part of 15 years, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So but they did it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And now they've survived for a long time. So it's now they're the established company
Sure.
in this market. I mean, I created this space, and now we have different tools that have kind of come into it. But it's not surprising to me that people stick with it once they embrace it.
Sure. So we haven't gone full
And they'll
grumpy.
pay for it because the price. I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
no.
the prices, the value that I get, and those that
Yeah.
embrace what I teach exceeds the cost
Sure.
of result.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go through the plans because we haven't been grumpy yet.
Yeah.
We haven't been particularly grumpy yet. So
Properly grumpy.
So
Okay.
let's go through. So the new plans are a starter and an advanced plan, right? Which have kind of like replaced the personal plan and the professional plan. So if you were on a professional plan and you were moving up to advanced plan, it's not that much of a hit. It's about £30, so probably about $40 or $50 or something like that. Hit, something like that, I think. Yeah, thereabouts. Mm-hmm. But there wasn't much difference between the personal plan and the professional plan, was there? At all, really?
No, this is where the pushback is. Yes.
Yeah. So the difference between the personal plan and the advanced plan is a lot. Yeah. Can you remember how much personal was?
Well, it's actually cheaper now. So the new starter plan is, well, let me see. I didn't plan for what the exact cost used to be. Sorry about that.
No, neither did I.
But I think the personal plan was about $130 a year.
Sure.
And now it's $99 for the starter plan.
Sure.
And that part has actually gone down, which
Sure.
which I think users should hear.
But there's a
right?
big there's a big but about that though.
Right.
Yeah.
So which certainly will cover, but that's the truth of it, is that it's cheaper. So if it was it was like $129.99 in the US, something like that, right? So then if you're going up now to $249, $250, that feels very steep, especially when you're a longtime user and you're factoring in the price increase that happened when Bending Spoons took over in 2020, well, officially in 2022, 23.
But if you're paying your $250, £150, then the advanced plan is pretty much unlimited everything. You can do whatever the hell you want with that, right? Just
right.
Yeah,
it's what we kind of expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the big problem and the elephant in the room, I always like saying that about Evernote, the elephant in the room is kind of the restrictions on the starter plan, right? Because from what I'm looking at the website now, it's 1,000 notes, 20 notebooks, 1,000 attachments, and 3 devices. So, so you could quite easily be on the personal plan and have 10,000 notes.
Yeah, if you're a longtime user, for sure.
But that means you've got to go to advanced. You can't.
That's right.
You can't stay on that lower tier because that lower tier.
Yeah, so those users are feeling squeezed into the more advanced plan.
Yeah. So who do you think starter is for?
A new Evernote user that is, I think it probably takes a while to accumulate 1,000 notes. And I think you can organize a few things with 20 notebooks. And so I think it's for somebody who's serious about using Evernote and wants to organize projects or life categories with the tool, and I kind of feel like it's exactly what they say. It's a starter plan for a demo to see if you're going to be an advanced user or not.
Yeah.
I think that's who it's for.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that Yeah. And I think it's also for somebody who is interested in seeing how AI can impact their work.
Sure.
I expect that we're going to see, we don't know for sure. I do expect that we'll see some caps on the AI use in the
Sure.
starter plan. This is an educated guess. It's not what Bending Spoons has decided. They're still deciding, is my understanding.
Yeah.
But I think that unlike some competitors, you're going to have the option to use the AI tools, which I think are going to make significant changes to how we work.
Yeah.
And I think that having access to those in the starter plan is going to be important. And I think it's for users that want to evaluate if going all in with that is the right thing for them.
Because before, kind of old Evernote, you could capture anything you want. There wasn't that limit on a number of notes. You could just the limits tended to be more feature driven, didn't they? It's more functionality feature driven in old Evernote, I suppose. Like I don't think you could email. I think it was like 5 email ins a day or something like that if you were on the free plan or something. But no matter what plan you were on, you could just create notes.
Yeah,
notes.
I mean, for me, this pricing is not the story here. The repackaging of the limits by the plan is the story here.
Yeah.
That is a cultural change to how Evernote has been sold and marketed in its entire history.
Yeah.
That's what's different here.
Yeah.
We used to, I mean, they're still like, I got an email from Evernote just this week that your second brain just got smarter, right? And and I love that positioning. I think that's accurate. It's about the AI and the enhancements, et cetera. But if we think about what Evernote was till last week when this was announced, it was remember anything.
Yeah.
And that implies that you're capturing everything to one spot. And for years, I've taught that it should be your single point of knowledge, right? It should be you have so much power when everything's captured and centralized in Evernote.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to do that on all the plans, even the free.
Yeah.
Before Bending Spoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, Bending Spoons changed that a few years ago, and now they brought that limit and a cap to that, to the starter plan as well. So that's a really core change to how users expected Evernote to work.
Yes.
And it may be, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And when you're using it the way I use it, and you use it, and our customers and those that follow us tend to use it or want to use it, that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But it's a big rub to like suddenly be told that you've captured 10,000 notes in Evernote that you really used as a digital filing cabinet.
Yeah.
And now you don't qualify for their plans.
Yes.
Unless you want to pay them $250 a year.
Yeah, because I mean, I think for me and probably for you and a lot of folks, it's almost like that instinctive thing. You just throw it into Evernote, just capture it, throw it into Evernote. I don't want to deal with it right now. I'll just chuck it in. It goes into Evernote and then I can look at it a little bit later. But if you've always got that 1,000 note limit to be worrying about, you're going to be thinking about, oh, I'm 986 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, it's interesting to me because, like, we've talked to Bending Spoons about this. Like, I am reading between the lines that 1,000 notes is considered a large account. And that comes from coming from a couple of sources. Notably, Federico tweeted about this over a year ago, that they viewed, like, he implied that 1,000 notes was considered a large account. So I asked my audience about that, and it was resoundingly over 1,000 notes, right? Yes. So it's like, I guess I'm only talking to a very, very small percentage of Evernote users, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, my thinking is that 1,000 notes isn't actually a lot, but from the data, apparently, that Evernote have, 1,000 notes is a big, big user.
Yeah. Now, I do think it takes some time to accumulate 1,000 notes, depending on what your use case is, right? But again, I've had people on my mailing list for 15 years, right? Or 10 years, like long time. So that group has had time to accumulate notes, right? And I,
Yeah.
I don't know why there's such a distinction between that, but I think beyond even the note limit is the file attachment limit is perplexing.
Yes. So this is the one which I'm a little bit grumpy about because
Okay.
I don't get it. I don't get the attachment limit. You see, if I forward lots of emails into Evernote, right? A lot of client emails, really to do with projects and stuff, and I store them in the client's notebook and things. And like, there's always kind of like everybody's blooming social media icons at the bottom. There's a little picture of themselves. There's probably the logo of the company and everything. So you could have 10 attachments just in one email. So it's like all these itty bitty attachments and logos and things are working up towards this attachment thing. And on the starter plan, it's 1,000 attachments. Do you understand what the attachments thing is about? I don't get it.
No, it's counter to this capture philosophy, which Evernote is so good at.
Yeah.
So good at. I mean, it's like, I'm going to penalize you for capturing if you're price sensitive.
Yes.
And maybe that's the intent. It was like, I mean, that's where they see the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But it, like, we saw this in, like, Files has been released for a while, and we've talked about this. We don't know how to use it,
No,
right?
I've forgotten about it completely.
And Evernote's admitted that it's kind of half baked, right?
Yeah.
For a feature.
Yeah.
But it's also the basis, like, they're tracking how many files and attachments. And one of the things we saw in the files and files kingdom is that all of these little teeny tiny graphics that we web clip and email in are being indexed and shown as files. Like,
Yeah.
I think you and I probably agree that if it was limited to, like, what our brain considers an attachment, a PDF, an Excel document, a Word document, a Google doc, those types of things, that it has more logic. Technically, I could imagine that's probably pretty hard for them to sort out, but now to put that in as a cap, so it's not even just 1,000 notes. If the source of your notes is going to matter, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've just gone into my files and I've got 9,708 files. And it's
oh, gosh.
So I'm like,
well, I don't even know what I've got. Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
yeah,
10 times more than the limit.
I have. Do you want to know what I have?
God, I don't want to know. It's gonna
so I have 40,000 notes.
Yeah.
And I have 114,000 files.
Oh, you need the advanced plan. You do.
I do.
But it's so easy to accumulate that over time, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not the person having that. I mean, I'm the market.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. I wish I had a lot of insight for you, but this part perplexes me, right? It is like, how do I as a user, if I'm trying to put myself in the starter plan mentality. I've been with Evernote a really long time, and I'd like to stay under the starter limits. I don't know that I have the tools to do that. I wouldn't know how to pare down my account.
Sure.
I would feel I can understand and appreciate why somebody would say, like, gosh, I guess it's time for me to migrate out of Evernote.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I do like about Evernote is that I don't have to fuss with it too much. The thing which would really irritate me was if my attachments limit was getting too high, so I had to go in and find loads of emails and then just delete all the little icons and convert them into text and remove this and remove that. That would just irritate the life out of me because I'm not into micromanaging my notes. I just want my stuff in Evernote and I'll find it through search and that.
Yeah.
So what's your community's reaction been like to this?
It's mixed. I mean, I cater to the type of user who is going to be an advanced user. Most of them are on the professional plan, or if they're not, they're fluently using Evernote, and they've been kind of dealing with the fact that they've been able to get by on the personal plan.
Yeah.
And so they're begrudgingly going to accept it. So my community that pays me, because I have I help people make the most of their
Sure.
subscription in my product, right?
Yeah.
But like I've pulled my email list, who is not all my customers,
Sure.
it's just a general interested Evernote user. And the reaction's very, very different. Very, very concerned by the limit. They're way, like I said, are you way over the limits, a little over the limit, or under the limit? And it was resoundingly way over the limit.
Yeah.
Right. And also it was resoundingly on the personal plan.
Yes.
So there's a group that's frustrated by the change.
Yeah.
We'll put
Yeah.
it
I'm
that
hearing
way.
exactly the same. I'm hearing a lot of folk who are on the personal plan saying, "Oh, this is a big jump. I'm going to have to really have a think about this. I'm not too sure about this." But then I've also heard from folk who are fine. Well, not fine. Fine's the wrong word to use. Nobody likes the price going up. But they kind of like saying to themselves, it just saves me so much freaking time. So it's worth £15, $20 a month because, my hourly rate is more than that and I save more than an hour a month using Evernote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the stress, like stress has a lot of value, and reduced stress has a lot of value. So to have access, like this sync access and if storage in that capacity and access from anywhere is valuable, the cost is acceptable.
We haven't talked about the storage. So it's 1 gigabyte for the starter and unlimited for advanced. So this again is a change, because before it was kind of like how much you stuck into Evernote per month. I think the professional plan was like 20 gigabytes a month, which I never got anywhere near it. But now it's a fixed limit, isn't it? So it's 1 gigabyte for the starter and unlimited for advanced. So that's a change.
It's another, yeah.
Yeah, and I got 30 gigabytes worth of Evernote.
Yeah, and it's not easy to find that number, is it?
Well, no, there's nowhere to find how much your storage is. Yeah, I mean the way I found out is because I store my Evernote on a separate external hard drive, so I can just right-click the folder and figure out how big that folder is, sort of thing. And it's about 28 gig, but there's nowhere in the interface. I hope they come up with something when they launch version 11 that has like a little.
It feels like they would have to. I mean, that seems very intuitive to me. Is that like, look, if you're gonna tell me that this is a constraint, you have to tell me where I'm at with it. I'm sure there's messaging that comes up too when you're there. But yeah, I do think that's actually something we should discuss. For those that are going to be over the limits but want to stay on the starter plan, one thing I do retain and keep an eye on is the fact that Evernote has 3 laws of data protection. Your data is yours. Your data is what is it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Transportable.
It's yours. You own it and all that sort of thing. Yeah.
You own it. You own it. And it's private and it's transportable, right? We can export our notes, kind of a thing. They do cap how to do that. It's not, you can't just one fell swoop.
Yeah.
But just because you go down a plan and you're going to have limits does not mean that you lose access to your data.
Sure.
That would be in violation of their 3 laws of data protection. So I think that's really worth dating, because obviously that's a question for those people who are considering not sticking with or not moving to the advanced plan or staying with it. So you're not going to lose your data. This is much like what we've seen in the free plan.
Yeah.
You can cancel your subscription and you'll still have access to all of your data. You just won't have the ability to do anything that exceeds a limit.
Sure.
And you're likely going to get a lot of messaging through the app that encourages you to upgrade, right? So, but I think that's a very important point. It's not like you have to sit here and go, oh my gosh, I've got to frantically export my data and migrate to another tool. You can let it be and decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
You can be on a free plan, you can be on a professional plan and still have access to your data, still search.
Yes.
And retrieve. You're just not going to be able to create additional notebooks, tags, add new things to it as you go along.
Yeah. So are you advising people to try and fit themselves into the starter plan? Or are you just saying to folk, if you've got 3, 4, 5,000 notes?
I don't really look at it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just clear that there's two different groups here. There's the group that's looking to make the most out of the advanced subscription and sees the value in it, is willing to make that investment in their personal productivity and life management. Okay. This is not an issue for them. This is kind of in line with inflation of the world. Okay.
Yes.
There's, however, I understand the pushback from those longtime users that really just aren't going to ever use Evernote in that way. And they feel like the mission of Evernote has shifted
Yes.
from remember everything and capture everything to, and keep us as a effective digital filing cabinet that you can take some notes in. They're not using it as a full knowledge management system,
Sure.
as a second brain type of a thing. Like for that group, I mean, I'm encouraging them to not panic. You don't have to export everything immediately. There's options. You can hold your data there and still have access to it. Make a thoughtful plan. You can likely, down or keep at the starter, which by the way, we should also mention that you have to proactively do that. If you're a paying user of Evernote, you will get notified via email a month before, or you can go look at your subscription anytime and find out when your renewal is. They're going to automatically roll you into the advanced plan.
Sure.
You have to proactively downgrade to starter if that's your choice. And you can do that. And you can just kind of play with it and see, try these things and make a decision. And, people like you, John, and me are going to show people how to make the most of this advanced plan and what Evernote offers over time. I just, you can be disappointed and such, but I think you've got to make a plan. This is your thoughts, your data that you've collected for a long time.
Yeah.
And there are options.
Yeah.
You're not being cut off from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The last little bit I want to chat quickly is about the expense in relation to other tools as well. I mean, I know we've kind of like got a beta version of the AI assistant at the moment, and we're fiddling around with it, and also with the transcription stuff as well, the meeting recorder and stuff. I've already reduced a plan for my Descript thing. So I was paying $35 a month to Descript for transcribing audio and video and stuff like that. I've reduced that. So I've saved myself $10 a month because I've reduced that, because a lot of that stuff, the meeting stuff I was doing in Descript, I'm now doing in Evernote, which comes with the plan. So I've saved myself a little bit of money, not a lot, but a little bit of money by doing that. I do hear that Evernote is really expensive. When you go on social media, people say Evernote's more expensive. It's the most expensive. It's like gold. Everybody else is cheaper. But when you actually look at it, it's not quite like that, is it?
No. I mean, no.
No.
So I appreciate that you have so eloquently stated this in public forums, and I talk about it with my community as well, is like, the cost of Evernote for comparable tools is, in my research, within $9 of a year of the other tools.
Yeah.
So if you're using it as a second brain and a knowledge management system, you can't simply just, float over to another tool and save a bunch of money.
Sure. So if we talk about the two apps that kind of like everybody talks about, which is Notion and Obsidian, those are the two that everybody brings up in relation to Evernote. And Notion with AI is $20 a month. That's the same price as Evernote, right? Evernote and AI.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, there is a cheaper one, but you don't get any AI.
Right.
Right? So it's not comparable.
And you have constraints. There are constraints too in those tools also.
Yeah. And then if you take Obsidian, which is the other one. So Obsidian's a weird one because, like, you do need a few plugins to get the functionality that Evernote offers, right? So you've got the micromanagement of the actual app itself. So you've got the plugins, you've got a lot of settings, it's a lot of fussing, it's a lot of micromanagement to get Obsidian sorted out. But even then, the price isn't that much cheaper. Now, I know you can DIY it. I know you can plug in your own Google Sync and all that, but that's not comparable with Evernote. Comparable with Evernote is its own sync system. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to DIY it, right? So they offer a $4 and an $8. The $8 is 10 gigabytes. Well, I got 30 in my Evernote, so that means I've got to pay $16 to Obsidian to get 30 gigabytes. So again, that's within $4 a month of Evernote. It's not,
They're not apples to apples,
No.
but once you start to look at what the premium tier is for all of these tools, they're all the same.
Yeah.
but they're very different. They're also different tools and how they operate. So they're going to attract different markets. I mean, I think it's very hard to compare Obsidian to
Oh,
Evernote. I
yeah.
think the audiences are very, very different, even
Yes.
though they both could be considered a knowledge management system.
I think the audience for Obsidian is very, very different to the audience for Evernote. I really do.
Oh, for sure. Yes, I agree. Totally. Like, I look at it this way, like, to simplify it, this is the analogy that I kind of think of. I think of, are you familiar with Squarespace,
Yeah.
the website?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I didn't want WordPress. I wanted Squarespace.
Yeah.
And I accepted the constraint with Squarespace because I didn't have to update all those plugins. Because on WordPress, everything was like, I could get all the functionality, but then here's my WordPress site and I've got all these tools. And then this tool, I have to upgrade the plugin, but it broke this workflow that's impacting this over here. And it's like, okay, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
I could. It's possible, but it requires a lot of tech savviness. The same thing between even Windows machines and Apple ecosystem, right? So it just attracts different kinds of things. It's like I went over here to Squarespace and it's all in and they manage all of that upgrade and all. It's much more approachable and easy. And yet, yes, there's a fewer design things I can control with it, right? And I kind of view these tools in a similar way. You know, it's like if you are wanting the approachable solution where it all just kind of syncs seamlessly between your devices and it visually is intuitive to you and doesn't require markdown experience and knowledge and all of these kinds of things, then Evernote's likely more appealing to you. If you want a local device first type of a tool that does offer sync, but you have to either configure it yourself or pay them, you know, if you have the skill to do that and that's how your philosophy is, then that's maybe a better tool for you. And there's lots of Evernote users that have embraced that methodology and that idea, right? Like that appeals to them. So you can understand it's just different. It's just different.
Different people. Yeah, I think the folks who like Obsidian are people who actually enjoy the art of note-taking and the art of organising and the art of... My daughter's a little bit like it. She planners with colour-coded this and colour-coded that and all this sort of thing. She loves the art of organising something like that. And I think there's a lot of people who use Obsidian like that. I'm not like it. I know it sounds weird to say, but I actually don't enjoy note-taking. I don't enjoy organising. What I enjoy is what Evernote does for me, if that makes sense. So I don't do a lot of hyper-organisation within Evernote. It's just notebooks. I don't use tags, for instance, because we're way too freaking complicated. So that's why it works for me, is because it's just you open it up and it's just there. I don't have to fuss with it.
Yeah, and even with these new AI tools, like you're gonna be able to just find how we find and search will be transformed. So organization is up for debate.
Right. I'll tell you what. Thanks ever so much for doing this, Stacey. We're going to have a quick chat afterwards for the paid users of Taming the Trunk. We'll have a bit of bonus material for them. But tell everybody where they can find you. Where's your website, socials, and things?
Oh yeah. Well, HarmonEnterprises.com and /newsletter will take you to a way to learn about my point of view and the evolution of Evernote if you're interested.
Fantastic. I'll put some links in the show notes and folks can kind of like tap on those and head over to it. Thanks for doing this, Stacey. Appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.